What's up guys, it's Meredith and this is actually a reshoot. I took my GoPro outside yesterday and I shot my entire video on my GoPro. I wasn't using an external mic or anything, and you know what? The audio is so bad.
Hey, let's go for a walk.
It's so bad I can't use it. I'm not gonna do that to you. So I'm gonna redo the things that were important for me to say. What the heck are LUTs? That is a question that I asked myself over a year ago, maybe like 2 years ago. Somebody sent me a question to the VidPro Mom Facebook page asking me about LUTs. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What the heck are LUTs? So it turns out LUTs are this thing that you can use when you're editing your GoPro footage to add a certain look to your footage. The caveat to using LUTs is that you have to kind of shoot with Pro Tune on so that you have a flat color profile. And I don't usually use Pro Tune. I kind of like to just pull my GoPro out of my pocket or my purse and just hit record and let it roll. But when I'm shooting on my DSLR like I'm doing right now, I actually usually have it on full manual so I can adjust the ISO, the shutter speed, the aperture, and all that stuff. When I'm shooting video and photo on my DSLR, it's in full manual the whole time. On my GoPro, it's in full auto. So one of my goals for 2018 is to get better at understanding the Pro Tune settings and kind of playing with everything so that I understand better how they work and when to use them and how to use them, so that I can help you figure that out too. Because a common question I hear is, how do I make my GoPro footage look better? How do I make it look like it came from a DSLR? How do I make it look more cinematic? And I'm not a professional video editor. If I was, I would know what a LUT was, right? I would like to make my footage look better as well. So I shot some footage yesterday, Pro Tune on. I had a white balance set to auto. I had the ISO set to a max of 400 because the sun was shining. And most importantly, had the color set to flat.
This is what it looks like. Completely flat, no editing at all. But it's really dull and actually it just looks really, it looks bad.
Because the proper way to use LUTs with your GoPro footage is to shoot with a flat color profile so that you can kind of really edit and customize your colors when you're editing, instead of relying on the GoPro to edit your colors for you. Essentially, that is what we're talking about today. So what the heck is a LUT? A LUT is a file that you can download onto your computer. I'm gonna give you some links to where you can get some free LUTs, some premium LUTs. Essentially what you do is you take that file, you load it into your video editing platform. A lot of them can do it, not all of them. And you can apply a color preset to your footage to achieve a certain look. So if you're not a professional video editor, or if you're not really that good at color grading, boom, 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 select a LUT, apply it to your footage, and play around with it, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna hop onto my computer with my footage from yesterday and kind of walk you through what LUTs are, where to get them, how to apply them, and some of the different kind of looks that you can achieve with LUTs. So it's cold out here, let's go inside. So I have Premiere Pro open here on my Mac. I use Premiere Pro to edit all of my YouTube videos. You know, unless I'm creating a tutorial on how to edit in some other platform, this is how I'm editing my YouTube videos. So this is what it looks like the way I have it set up for me personally. If you are using another piece of software, this is going to be a little bit different for you. You might have to Google or search on YouTube how to use LUTs with your particular type of software. But in this video, I just want to kind of go over what LUTs are, like what they do, and why you might want to use them. Now, I'm going to show you where you can go download LUTs, free LUTs, and premium LUTs in just a second. But first, I kind of want to show you what we can possibly do with LUTs. So I shot these clips on my Hero 5 Black outside. And so like I already mentioned, Pro Tune is on. The white balance is set to auto, the ISO is set to 400, and the color is flat. And that's the important thing that we want to talk about. So you can kind of tell If I just pause this, you can tell here, it just looks weird, right? If you're used to shooting with the GoPro color on, the GoPro is going to kind of take the green in the grass and bump it up. It's going to take the blue in the sky and bump it up. It's going to make your colors really nice and saturated for you, but that means that you don't have as much control over them when you're editing. So I have flat color on. That's why it looks, just a little, just not, there's no punch. There's no punch to it. Now, I'm not an expert at this, and I don't want this to turn, into a Premiere Pro tutorial. So I'm going to create an adjustment layer, and that gives us the ability to make our color adjustments kind of on top of our clips instead of on the clip itself. And I have my Lumetri color panel over here. One of the first things you're going to want to do before you apply any LUTs or anything like that is to just make sure that your image is properly exposed. Make sure that your highlights and shadows are balanced. Make sure that, the things that are supposed to be black in the video are actually black, and the things that are supposed to be white are actually white. And you can use those sliders to do that. I don't know. I think the exposure is probably fine. Contrast, we might just maybe bump up a little bit since it looks so just kind of bleh. We can make sure that our shadows are shadowy. This ring over here is actually white, so we want to make sure that that looks white to us. And then make sure our blacks look black. So I'm going to go with that. Now for the fun part. I'm actually going to create another adjustment layer. If you want to be really fancy, you can name these so that you don't get confused. And this is a layer where I'm going to actually apply the LUT. Now, I already have some LUTs on my computer. Premiere Pro comes with some already installed. I have some free LUTs that I downloaded. I'll show you where I got those. And then Polar Pro actually sent me their Aurora cinematic pack of LUTs. I think there was, like 6 or so in there. So I'll show you what those look like too. By law, I have to tell you that they sent them to me for free. Okay, so, but they're fun to play with, and they're nice and cinematic. So let me show you what happens. I'm going to find a good sort of spot. Okay, here we go. Here's a good spot. So I want to show you what happens when we apply a LUT. So under the Lumetri color panel, under basic correction, again, I made my corrections on this adjustment layer down here. Up here is where I'm going to actually add the LUT. So under basic correction, just input LUT, and I'm going to show you, let's see, let's do Morpheus. So you can see how it kind of made the greens nice and green. Like, look at that green tree. It's so nice and beautiful green there. All these other things here, all these like cattails and stuff, these are brown because they're supposed to be brown because it's winter. So what else can we see? So Purity Cool looks like this. So that gives it a little bit of a bluer sort of tinge to it, kind of cool. There's also Purity Warm, which obviously warms it up a little bit. And we can also switch over to just regular Purity and see what that looks like. I know this is really choppy for you because that's what happens when I record a screencast. If I just hide these for you, you can see this is a little bit washed out. It's pretty flat. It's not very exciting, and it's just blah, right? And then if I turn these back on for you, then you can kind of see the difference that it makes. So even these things that are just like brownish, grayish weeds, right? It gives them at least a little bit of a punch of color, makes them a little bit browner, a little bit more sort of golden instead of just kind of dead looking. So that's the regular Purity. That one, so Purity, Purity Cool, Purity Warm, those are from Polar Pro. If we look at Deep, we can look at Deep Cool. We can look at Deep Warm. Now, some of the free ones that you can get from Ground Control, this one is Carbon Saber. So that punches up our greens quite a bit. There's Rain from Ground Control. That just makes things look, it's a little washed out-ish. By far, I think my favorite here is Morpheus. It's a little dark here, right? So, I mean, one thing we can do is, since this is on a layer, since that LUT is on a layer, we can come over to under effects control, under opacity, and we can bring the opacity of that layer down, which is going to lessen the effect, right? Actually, I need to uncheck my little timer there because we don't want to do that, right? But we can play with it, increase it, decrease it. You can have it just be very subtle, or whatever you need to do there. So there's also Night with a K. This one is, let's see. This one's not bad. It definitely brings out the green. And it also makes the sky look, I think, a little more blue than it probably was that day. And that's what the sky looks like on Morpheus. And then there is this free LUT from, well, I'll show you. It's called K-Tone. It's kind of based on a Kodachrome from Kodak, kind of old school vintage look, which is kind of cool if you want to add that kind of effect or that kind of look to your footage. So it's probably not what I would choose for outdoors like this, because I'm not really going for a vintage look. I'm going to come back over here to Morpheus. I think this one is definitely my favorite. So here's what the Morpheus looks like on me as I'm talking to the camera. If I just hide these for you. So this is what it looks like, totally flat, not adjusted at all. This is what it looks like after just a little bit of, that's a bad, just like still, right? Let me find a better face. This is what it looks like after the basic adjustments over here, like the blacks, whites, exposure, stuff like that. And then here's what it looks like with that Morpheus LUT. So I think it's kind of fun to play around with these to, get the look that you're going for. Again, I really like this Morpheus from Polar Pro. All of the ones from Polar Pro are really nice. Actually, the Purity looks like this with me talking. Purity Cool. I should edit this together and do a little bit of a demo. I like this one, just a regular plain old Purity. This one looks nice. It's nice and punchy over here. The grass is a little bit yellow, but again, you could come over here and lower the opacity on this if it was just coming on a little too strong for you. So let me show you where I picked up all of these LUTs. So if you go to Ground Control Color, you can get free LUTs there. I'll put links in the description below this video. They also sell premium LUTs as well. You can get the premium LUTs, but then they give you these freebies to try out too. And then Polar Pro is where you can get the Aurora Cinematic Color presets. These ones are really pretty. And actually, if you go and look at the demo video for this, it's really cool the way that they put this together, kind of show you what happens when you do apply their LUTs. So you can go over there and check that out. Again, I put the link below. It's an affiliate link. That means if you made a purchase, after you click the link, they share a little bit of the revenue with me. So this pack is only like $30. So if you like the way it looks, then check it out, try it out. And then the Kodachrome one is over here. I'll put a link below to that one too. This guy kind of came up with it on his own, and you can download it for free. And shout out to Eastman Kodak Company in Rochester, New York. Now, when it comes time to actually install your LUTs, I just want to show you. So what you want to do is you want to save these files. They're .cube files. You're going to save these somewhere on your hard drive. I have mine in a resources folder, and then within my video assets folder, and then within my LUTs folder. So I kind of always know where to find them. And when you do that, then when you open up Premiere Pro and you come to your Lumetri color panel, and you can just come over here to browse, and then you can just, find the folder where you saved your .cube files, and then, just choose one and pull it up. Now, what I did actually was I added my LUT files, my cube files, to kind of a hidden folder within Premiere Pro, so that I just had them here and I didn't have to do the whole browsing thing each time. And the way I did that real quick is on your Mac, within Applications folder, you're going to choose the Premiere Pro folder. You're going to right click on the app itself and choose Show Package Contents. And this is going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. Down here under Lumetri, you can come down under LUTs. And then I dropped mine into the one called Technical. Okay, so they're all .cube files here. You're going to find the ones that come preloaded with Premiere Pro. There's, a handful, 6 or 8 or so. And then, so I put my files in there. I copied them into there. I didn't move them. I copied them because I didn't want them to disappear the next time that Premiere Pro just updates on its own. So that's how I got them into this little drop down here. So I'm going to edit together a little demo of a bunch of different LUTs so you can kind of see what they look like compared to each other and compared to unedited footage. And again, I put links to the ground control LUTs, the Kodachrome LUT, and the Polar Pro LUT down below this video. Enjoy! Personally, I find video editing really fun. I just really haven't dived into the whole color grading and LUTs world. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And if you want to come along for the ride, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And if this video was helpful for you, give it a thumbs up before you go. And let me know in the comments if you think I should shoot more videos outside this winter. Please say no. Oh, thanks for watching. Bye. When let me move my grill. I have to stop for the horse and buggies that are going by. What is it, like rush hour? We have some very interesting traffic on our road.